Bernie Sanders wants a 32-hour work week with no loss in pay, and well, I would really love to live in whatever planet Bernie Sanders lives on. Saying you want a 32-hour work week with no loss in pay essentially means pay us more. So he wants to force businesses by bureaucratic decree to pay for a 4-hour work week the same as a 5-hour work week. Well, a lot of people that would take off that 5th day in this Bernie Sandbags utopia, they would have to work on that day. They would go and work the remaining day to help pay for the increase of price of all of the things that ended up costing more money as a result of this policy. And since presumably in this Sandbags utopia, you would not be allowed to employ a person more than 32 hours, they would have to get a second job, or probably a third job in the current case. Because for the millionth time, the free market sets the price of labor, just like it sets the price of everything else, unless interfered with by the bureaucracy. If you take the cost of labor and decrease a day of productivity but pay them the same, the price of manufacturing and producing all of those goods and services will go up by 20%. The 20% increase has to get passed down to the consumer. If the consumer cannot afford to pay that 20%, the sales will decrease. Thus, the business will decrease. Thus, the amount of jobs, the amount of products that they sell, services they sell, will decrease. Because these things always backfire, aside from the fact that it's just not free market and would never work, think about what would happen to a lot of these service-based jobs. Well, if the United States was forced to a 32-hour work week, a lot of those jobs would become uncompetitive in the United States, and you'd be forced to just outsource them overseas. They would just move to another country that didn't force this work week, make every one of the jobs remote, and more jobs would be lost, and more products would cost more money, more services would cost more money, the quality would go down. All of these things just backfire. Instead of tackling actual real issues like creating an economic system where the bureaucracy gets out of the way so that these businesses can hire more people, grow their business, get rid of the bureaucratic red tape, where all of us would thrive, they just put forward these like fake opinions that would never actually pan out to get people to look in their direction so they can sell more books like Sandbags. More books, more speeches, more podcasts, etc. They know these policies won't work. They know that this is not how it goes. They just do it to rile everybody up, to create this environment where the corporations are the bad guy and the bureaucracy is the good guy. This is a fake, non-real thing that would never work. If the marketplace could manage a 32-hour work week, businesses would start offering a 32-hour work week. Then people would be competing for those jobs so much that they could pay them less money and say, no, I'll take a little bit less for the 32-hour work week, and then sooner or later, eventually, all businesses would have to move that way. It seems counterintuitive, but the more the bureaucracy actually gets out of the way, the better conditions get for employees, the economy, and just everyday citizens on its own. That's why capitalism is the single system that's lifted more people out of poverty than any system in the entire world in history. But soggy, demon, octogenarian, socialist meatbags like Bernard don't care about that. He loves capitalism when it comes to selling his books or speeches, but he loves pretending that it's bad so that he can get more votes, so he can remain a completely useless six-figure plus paid member of Congress for his entire life. But yeah, guys, let's cheer the 32-hour work week.